What's up everyone? Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be talking about this beautiful variety of Scindapsus called as Scindapsus trubii. Now this is Scindapsus trubii Moonlight. We also have another one that's called as the dark form. The dark form is relatively very expensive compared to the Moonlight. Probably in some countries even the Moonlight can be expensive. I got this small little plant cutting a couple of months ago. It's looking absolutely stunning. I must say these are very slow growing compared to our Scindapsus varieties like the Exotica or the Silver and Silver Lady. There are so many more in the Scindapsus family. So they are relatively much faster compared to this species. Now it is an easy plant provided you give the basic care which we are going to be talking in this video, starting off with the soil mix. Now people tend to use different types of soil mix like soilless media or growing it in leca. I prefer to grow it in a regular soil mix, which is a mix of garden soil, coco peat and sand. Basically a mix that is loose, porous and well draining, yet that retains a slight amount of moisture. These are not drought tolerant plants. They prefer a slight amount of moisture in the soil. If you are going to dry out the soil completely before watering again, then your plant is not going to survive. So you have to maintain a slight amount of moisture. Once you notice that around 1 to 2 inch of the upper layer of soil is dry, do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. As I've mentioned this earlier, please do not let the entire soil dry out, otherwise your plant will have issues. Now talking about light, just like other Scindapsus, they will do well in indirect bright light. Do not offer direct sunlight, otherwise they will get burnt. Probably early morning before 9 a.m. if you get mild direct sunlight before 9 a.m. that is absolutely fine, but after that avoid keeping it in direct sunlight. It will get burnt. These plants, they are green in color, but if you're going to take a close look, they also have this silver tone on them, as you can see, and that's what gives this plant its beauty. So you can keep them near the windowsill if you're growing them indoor, and if you're growing them outdoor, ensure you are keeping them in a place where it receives indirect bright light. Talking about fertilizers, summer is their growing period. You can go with any liquid based fertilizer or solid based fertilizer. I prefer compost tea. I do that once a month and that's more than enough. They're not very heavy feeding plants, so minimum nutrients is absolutely fine for them. Now these plants are basically epiphytes, meaning that as and when they start to grow, they prefer a pole. If you're not going to give them a pole, they will start to trail downwards. Now it's ideally said that if plants tend to trail downwards, the leaves tend to grow smaller, but if you use a pole and you help them grow vertically, then the leaves will grow larger. This is something that even I have noticed in my most of my epiphytic plants, that plants that I don't use a pole, as and when they start to trail, the leaves get smaller in size. I think it's all to do with the amount of light that they receive. Because as and when they start to grow vertically, there is more light, and in nature as well, they tend to grow on other tree trunks or anything that can give them support, and as and when they start rising higher, the size of the leaves also start to increase. Now, of course, these plants are not going to get any splits or any fenestrations. They are just going to stay like this. Scindapsus do not get any fenestrations as far as I know. I have some other Scindapsus as well, which are mature, but they haven't got any splits or any kind of fenestrations. These plants do not get any fenestrations. Talking about temperature and humidity, anywhere between 15 degrees Celsius all the way up to 35-36 degrees Celsius is going to work out really well. These are more of tropical plants, so they grow in warmer temperatures. I live in a tropical environment, so these tend to do quite well. The only issue I have is during summers, because these plants prefer a good amount of humidity. Anywhere above 60 to 70% is good for them. So I have to be extra careful during the summers, because over here the environment is very dry, so I have to do regular misting on them. At times I might move them to the lift room, which is like a room with a lot of indirect bright light. So I tend to shift them over there during the summer season. During the monsoon season, I do not need to be worried. It is very humid. There's a lot of moisture, so they tend to do quite good when I get them back onto the terrace. Now, talking about propagation, as and when this plant starts to grow, it will get nodes. You can do a node cutting. I'll put up an image on the screen so you can get an idea what exactly is the node and where exactly to cut. You will get to know with this picture that you're seeing on the right hand side. So this is how you do a cutting, and then you can either put the cutting into the soil or you can put it into the water. They can also be easily water propagated. Any one method is going to work out really well. Talking about pest, yes, these plants can get affected with mealybugs, scale insects, spider mites. In case if you have other plants that are infested, they can easily transfer onto them. So always do a visual check once in 2 or 3 weeks. If you notice any kind of infestation, don't waste your time. Just use neem oil and get rid of those insects before they reach into an infestation stage. Because once the plant is heavily infested with any kind of bugs, then it is very difficult for the plant to recover out of it. And overall, it's a very easy growing plant. If you follow the basic guidelines, you will be able to grow this plant with ease. This particular variety, the Moonlight, is readily available and at a cheaper cost compared to the dark form. So if you are a beginner, definitely add this in your collection, and you are going to definitely fall in love with this plant. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.